Good evening, and welcome friends, family, faculty, students, and alumni pharmacists, and particularly the very distinguished class of 2023. Today is the 19th annual White Coat celebration, one unlike any other in our history. This is a joyous occasion. It will put a smile on your face as we celebrate the newest members of the school community who are demonstrating to us that virtual connections can indeed be powerful. Class of 2023, welcome to the profession. The white coat represents your transition from layperson to student pharmacist. It is the time we officially become partners toward the goal of safe, effective, and cost-effective drug therapy for all the world's citizens. Class of 2023. To start, I need to say a few things about your school, the one I have the privilege to serve. As the class of 2023 knows well, the school and the campus core values are deeply embedded in what we call PRIDE values. The P in PRIDE stands for professionalism, the R, respect, the I, integrity, and the D is for diversity. As I think about this community, I'm reminded that it is our differences that make us strong and distinguished. We embrace differences in backgrounds, gender, race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, in lifestyles and perspectives. And we're fortunate to be at a university and a school where diversity is a core value. The E in PRIDE stands for excellence, and the school's excellence is particularly evidenced by our world-class science. As I've previously highlighted with this class, we were number one among all U.S. schools of pharmacy and NIH funding for the 40th consecutive year. Similar to past several years, UCSF total research funding in this school equaled that of the next two schools combined. However, our drive to seek and apply new knowledge is not isolated to our research. Also exists in our patient care and our PharmD education. With respect to patient care, our California poison control system, with its 900 calls per day, was created and housed in the School of Pharmacy. The advancement of the profession to a more clinical discipline began over 50 years ago at UCSF on the 9th floor in the hospital. And specific to today's COVID-19 pandemic, your school assumed the responsibility for disseminating PPE for the San Francisco Bay Area's pharmacies. Your school led the way in providing novel COVID therapy to UCSF Health's patients. However, the scientific way of thinking exhibited in our research and patient care models clearly extends into our professional curriculum. You, the class of 2023, can testify to this fact. I said to you during orientation, you are the most distinguished incoming PharmD students at the most distinguished school of pharmacy in the world. I mean that. Each of your stories is unique, demonstrating hard work and sacrifice, always with a good dose of that scientific way of thinking. Admissions was competitive. You demonstrated your competitiveness, convincing us that you were different from anyone else in your class. You come from 7 states. 15% of you were born outside the U.S. Your countries of origin are diverse. Members of this class come from China, Dominican Republic, Eritrea, Hong Kong, India, Iran, Japan, Kenya, Korea, Macau, Malaysia, Mexico, Palestine, Peru, the Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, the U.S., and Vietnam. While many of you majored in the life sciences, others took different paths: bioengineering, botany, electrical engineering, literature, philosophy, physics, psychology. You know quite well that your admission to this school was based on much more than grades. Leadership, outstanding communication skills, critical thinking, those multiple mini interviews. These interviews convinced us how you were unique among your 127 fellow students. You come from diverse backgrounds and life experiences, and this has resulted in a passion for serving others with care and compassion. You are our partners as pioneers in a curriculum unlike that of any in the world. Class of 2023, you are our partners in a bold new venture which sets a new standard for incorporating scientific thinking into learning. Pharmacy and healthcare is evolving rapidly, and the models of practice you will see in your professional lives are taking shape all around us. While coronavirus vaccine likely will be available by early 2021, it's important for you to note pharmacists will be administering the majority of these vaccinations, and the state of California and the nation are recommending COVID testing to take place in pharmacies. Is there any doubt in your mind whether or not your profession is essential? But don't ever forget your clearly unique role to ensure every single patient is receiving the safest, most effective, the least costly medications. You will have the scientific knowledge and practice experience distinguishing you as outstanding clinicians, scientists, academicians, world leaders. We do not expect you to simply digest what we tell you. In fact, it's quite the reverse. You are expected to ask questions when things don't make sense. The questions why not, are welcomed, encouraged, expected. You are expected to think critically, to solve problems. You are expected to always think scientifically. You've already been exposed early and often to UCSF School of Pharmacy, groundbreaking research, and new directions in clinical care as you develop an inquiry habit of mind. All that said, let's remember for a moment that your curricular experience began with a patient. The decision to begin your curriculum with a patient interview, albeit virtual, was quite deliberate. Why start with a patient? Any critical thinking you may develop is worthless if you do not truly feel the responsibility for the patient in your heart. That patient, your patient, taught you far more than you could possibly have taught him. The patient you virtually met taught you the importance of responsibility for his care. Please allow me to repeat, for this profession, your responsibility is ensuring each and every patient is receiving the safest, most effective, most cost-effective medication therapy. We recognize that your road to this moment has not been easy. We would not be here today if it were not for many, many of your supporters, your family, friends, partners, many of whom have joined us for this celebration today. Class of 2023, you may be watching the celebration with the individuals who have helped you reach this juncture, or you may be watching it separately. Whatever the case, in the days that follow, I encourage you to thank them. A call, a text, an email for their part in helping you reach this important milestone. It's now my pleasure to introduce the president of the Pharmacy Alumni Association, Dr. Gregory Smith, a member of the class of 1992. Dr. Smith serves as the Area Pharmacy Director for Kaiser Permanente Redwood City Medical Center. He's been with Kaiser for more than 15 years in a variety of roles. He's an alumnus of the UCSF Pharmacy Leadership Institute. And prior to joining Kaiser, he held a wide range of clinical, sales, and program director roles for pharmaceutical companies, pharmacy benefit management organizations, and medical device companies. Just to mention a few, he's worked with Aventis, Planet RX, United Healthcare, and beyond. He's been a volunteer clinical faculty member at UCSF since 1996, served on the Pharmacy Alumni Association Board of Governors since 2014, and a proud alumnus of St. Mary's College, where he was a member of the Gales football team. In fact, it was a football injury that led him to pharmacy. The role of medications in his own recovery, followed by a job in a pharmacy, revealed the essential contributions of pharmacists. In his admissions essay, Dr. Smith said the following: "I realized the mountain ahead of me, attaining the PharmD degree from the best school in the nation, is steep, but I am a strong climber. Given the opportunity, I will make a notable contribution to this career." Greg Smith has done exactly that. As a pharmacy advocate and leader, as well as enthusiastic and supporter mentor to student pharmacists.
Hello, my name is Greg Smith. I'm the president of the UCSF School of Pharmacy Alumni Board of Governors, and I'm very proud to welcome you to your White Coat celebration today. On behalf of the UCSF Pharmacy Alumni Association, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you, the student pharmacist of the class of 2023, to the profession of pharmacy. You have chosen the very best pharmacy school possible to launch your careers. I look forward to welcoming your family and friends to the future ceremony, whose support has made it possible for you to be here today, and please never lose sight of that fact. Each of your loved ones will get an I Heart My UCSF student magnet at the future ceremony. Because of your admission to UCSF, you now have a larger family to assist and support you in school, as well as in your professional careers. This is because your classmates, the faculty, the members of the Pharmacy Alumni Association are now all part of your extended family. The Pharmacy Alumni Association wants to help and support you as you begin your professional careers. I know that the PAA board members very much enjoyed contacting you this summer to welcome you to UCSF and offer their personal assistance. We also enjoyed seeing so many of you at the PAA Welcome Zoom call. We also have a gift for you. The Alumni Association has arranged for each of the member of the class of 2023 to receive personal business cards. These cards will be available and distributed to you soon. Many of my fellow UCSF Pharmacy School alumni are also virtually here today to welcome you into the profession of pharmacy. To recognize them, I will ask all board members at the future ceremony to stand up and remain standing, all residents, fellows, and faculty, and UCSF Pharmacy School alumni. And again, all will be present when your ceremony is face-to-face. Although today it may seem a long way off, the Alumni Association and its members will also be there to assist you as you begin your pharmacy careers. I hope that each of you will continue to look to us for support. After you graduate, I also encourage each of you to become actively involved with the Pharmacy Alumni Association so that support for future UCSF student pharmacists who follow in your footsteps can continue. On behalf of the UCSF Alumni Association, I again want to welcome you to the profession of pharmacy. We extend our best wishes and hope each of you has a very successful, satisfying, and rewarding pharmacy career. Thank you.
Our keynote speaker this evening is Dr. Sharon Yeomans, Vice Dean of the School of Pharmacy and a member of the class of 1985. She holds a master's in public health from San Jose State University. She joined the faculty in 2001 and served as Vice Chair for Education in the Department of Clinical Pharmacy from 2007 to 2013, when at that time she assumed the role of Vice Dean of the school. She is focused on continuous improvement of pharmacy education and work collaboratively with other UCSF education programs. She is the architect, the driving force and visionary behind our new innovative curriculum. Prior to joining the faculty, Dr. Yeomans practiced in hospital and community pharmacy settings with a particular expertise in pediatrics. She has a keen interest in public health and how pharmacists can provide health education and services in new and innovative ways. Her research interests include health literacy and health communication, including culturally sensitive communication strategies to enhance medication compliance. She has provided pharmacy services to San Francisco residents through Glide Health Services, which focuses on homeless and uninsured patients. Her professional contributions have been international in scope. As an example, she's worked with faculty in Tanzania on curriculum reform and served on a research team focused on providing health and HIV/AIDS information to the people of Malawi. A member of the Haile T. DeBoss Academy of Medical Educators, the UCSF Center of Faculty Educators, Dr. Yeomans recently joined the board of directors of the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education, where she represents the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. I could tell you much more about her, but for now, I'll add she is warm, generous, and inspiring leader, mentor, and colleague to students and faculty alike. I look forward to Dr. Yeomans' words to the class of 2023 at this critical juncture in healthcare.
Hello, everyone. I wish to, at this time, acknowledge our Dean, Dr. Joe Guglielmo, the many family members and friends, faculty, alumni, staff, and especially the class of 2023. It's an honor and privilege to share a few remarks with you. As I thought about what I would share, I reflected on all that is happening in our school, our campus, San Francisco, the state of California, our country, and the world. I also took a time out to think about what this ceremony means, and specifically the meaning of the white coat, in the context of current societal events. I invite you to take a few moments to think with me about a coat. What is a coat? What is its purpose? Why do we wear coats? Why are coats important? What is the significance of a white coat? Perhaps you can remember growing up hearing your mother or your grandmother or some adult who was taking care of you say, "Don't forget your coat." And depending on the weather, don't forget to put on your coat before you go outside. I can still hear my grandmother saying those words in my mind. Most of the time, we see a coat as a piece of clothing to protect us. We have raincoats, trench coats, snow coats, navy coats. I could go on. Coats come in all different styles and colors. And a main function of the coat is to protect us from external environmental conditions like rain, snow, cold winds. The purpose is to keep us dry and warm. If you really think about it, we put on coats when we are about to do something, to go outside, to the store, to school, to our places of worship, and I'm sure you can come up with many more reasons. With that coat on, you were on a mission. Even if it was just to go outside and play, it was a signal, a call to action. As we think about this ceremony and what the white coat means, it's simple yet quite complex. However, the white coat is more than its color, and with it comes the meaning of what is at the core of how we function as pharmacists and healthcare providers. Putting on the white coat is aligned with our values and beliefs: professionalism, integrity, trust, competence, and a commitment to improve health. It's a sense of belonging to something bigger than yourself. To me, it also represents the 3 R's that a wise man taught me many years ago: responsibility, respectability, and reliability. To the class of 2023, when you put on the white coat, ask yourself, what action will I take today? We are now living in unprecedented times. When I was beginning my first year in pharmacy school almost 40 years ago, it was during the early years of the HIV/AIDS crisis. Lots of unknowns, lots of fear, and a lot of loss of young lives. All I could think about was, how can I help? How will I help when I become a pharmacist? Today, we have the COVID-19 pandemic and all of the uncertainty and fear that it brings. It is the disruptor of the 21st century, and it has and will change our lives forever. In addition, we have the rise of outcries in the United States and around the world to address the social injustices and racism that is alive and well in our society. These injustices have widened the gaps of health disparities in our communities of color, communities of marginalized groups, and communities who suffer the consequences of poverty. As you train to be a pharmacist, what will you do? When you become a pharmacist, what will you do? In your own way, you have begun to answer the call. Your contributions, no matter how large or small, will make a difference in someone's life or the lives of someone's family. As you recite the oath of the pharmacist that you discussed as a group a few weeks ago, you will continue to hear the calls to be an activist against racism, sexism, and discrimination of any kind, an advocate for the profession, for patients, the underserved, a change agent for public health policies, and being a leader by your actions, not a title. To take on the call that if you see something that is not right or is unjust, to find a way to say something and make it known, to not be satisfied with the status quo, to model the change you want to see in the world. An action step that you have already taken is your commitment to your professional education at UCSF. Some of you may already know your call, and there can be more than one. Some of you may be figuring it out. It is a process, a lifelong process that ebbs and flows. You all have the right stuff, and you all have the total package of work, education, and life experiences that has already enhanced the richness and diversity of our learning environment and our profession. Today, we are not able to physically coat you with your white coat as we traditionally do. However, whenever you do put on the white coat, please ask yourself, what am I going to do? What action or actions will I take? Some practice settings don't wear white coats, but regardless of where you practice, keep the meaning of the white coat with you. I'll close with these words of a poem entitled On the Path of Becoming, author unknown. This ceremony officially sends you off on your path to becoming a pharmacist. On the path of becoming. Each day I set a goal, many tasks for me to complete, because I continue to move forward on the path of becoming. Every choice I make, every decision I make, every path I take, I'm on the path of becoming. I take 2 steps forward, then I take 5 steps back. I at times stay where I am, but I'm still on the path of becoming. I've decided that with my life, every day I must move forward towards my goal, whether I have ups and downs, because I am on the path of becoming. To the class of 2023, you are on the path of becoming. The white coat ceremony officially marks this beginning, but also know that it is a call to action, a new call, a continued call, responding to whatever resonates in your heart, mind, and soul. As we observe this milestone in your professional career, we, your UCSF family, along with your individual families and friends, agree that all of you are on the path of becoming great, even greater than you are now. Congratulations, class of 2023, and welcome to the profession.
In years past at this point in the celebration, members of the entering class would come forward to receive their coats from a select group of faculty and alumni. Today, we will introduce you and ask that as your name is announced, please don your fresh, clean, wrinkle-free white coat. In the future, before you begin your APPEs, these are your advanced pharmacy practice experiences, we will mark this in person with a second white coat ceremony. Your coats may not be quite as fresh at that moment in time, since you will have completed many hours of IPPEs, that's introductory pharmacy practice experiences. Yet, I'm confident the coat you are putting on now will have even more meaning at that time. Vice Dean Yeomans will now present the class of 2023. When she calls your name, please put on your white coat and take a picture. And as a sign of the times, please consider sharing your photo on social media with the hashtag UCSF PharmD. Dr. Yeomans.
Neda Abu Garbeya. Kimberly Aguilar. Ji Young An. Carissa Alcera. Maishiel Aldajani. Ariga Aleere. Nina Bauman. Micah P. Bunawis. Selma Baradaran Nakjavani. Alec Barajas. Keith G. Barrett. Agathea Luvel Bosco Bato. Divya Bhaskar. Leanne Capistrano. Claire Carlson. Angela Castro. Alexander Chang. Jennifer R. Chang. Julia Chow. William Pillion Chow. Shalmin Chen. Joshua Chin. Like M.Y. Ching. Jennifer Choi. Bernice Chow. Stephen Villar Feng Choi. Emily G. Chu. Philip R. Chua. Callie Chung. Crystal Chung. Gina Cocos. Arnold Contreras. Chris Sui. Lena Davis. Sarah De Jesus. Bea De Los Reyes. Gea De Los Reyes. Stephanie Y. Doe. Amanda Dong Lei. Riley Fortney. Michael F. Frank. Sherry C. Fu. Johannes Gabriel Hewitt. Alice Guy. Arash Kejar. Jane Sul Go. Victoria Guan. Christine Maria Hancock. Tam Min T. Ho. Gregory Vahe Havanessian. Allison Shea. Ashley Hua. Anthony Wang. Kasey Huang, Lily Y. Huang, Brittany Thuy Trinh Nguyen, Laura Nguyen, Pavandeep Jande, Julia G. Jones, Varuna Kalsi, Sukhman Kaur, Dominique R. Kennybrew, Nivan Yael Kher, Sana Kuptib, Eric Kim, So-Young Kim, Jeremy Lam, Nicole Lam, Christine H. Lee, Dylan Lee, Ho Jun Lee, Nancy K. Lee, Emily R. Leon, Shu-Yi Lee, Sing-Yi Yuki Lin, Taylor A. Liu, Matthew Louis, Aileen Lu, Rani Lu, Kanal Madan, Gordon Ma, Taylor McCart, Teresa A. Mendoza, Janille E. Miranda, Rainia Mosen, Alana Moises, Yubin Moon, Kelsey A. Morioka, Taichi Morata, Mitchell Muskat, Amina Ng, Leaky Jenny Ng, Josephine No, Tiffany No, Eddie Nguyen, Emily Tweevy Nguyen, Wesley Nguyen, April Ochoa, Daniel Oliveira, Cleopa Omandi, Nikolai Parvis Parhami, Rachel Park, Juan Pena, Nariman Piri, Jethro Abad Pubre, Division Puruhit, Rachel Rael, Emily Sabour, Malega Salarilak, Jamie M. Asali, Rayanne Salonga, Christian Santamaria, Ashley Aiko Takeshita, Ryan Talbot, Tao T. Tang, Janissa Renee Tate, Gavork Chapanian, Aiko Tompkins, Nicole S. Truong, Tina Truong, Lauren Tweedy, Hasman Valencia, Jessica Wang, Stephanie Wong, Annie Z, Amanda Yi, Min T. Yu,
It's now my pleasure to introduce soon-to-be Dr. Omar Gomez Estrada. Grew up in Leon, Mexico, and immigrated to the U.S. with his family at the age of 18. A musician, both bass and guitar player, Omar was pursuing a career in art before he came to the U.S. First in his family to graduate from college, he earned his bachelor's in biology from UCLA, where he was active as a transfer, student mentor, a language tutor, a learning assistant, and a student researcher. He's been actively involved at UCSF, including as an intern at UCSF Medical Center, Benioff Children's Hospital. He is a group and elective coordinator for the Infectious Diseases Interest Group. He's been heavily involved in community outreach and serving as a translator for the Student National Pharmaceutical Association. Preceptors who have worked with Omar in the patient care setting have the following to state about him. Omar's smile puts patients at ease, and he is one of the kindest clinicians they have observed as he works with ill patients. He is patient, yet persistent, in eliciting the very best possible medication history from newly admitted patients. Omar treats every patient and their family as if they were his own. Omar describes the culture shock and the transformation of his previous worldview when he first came to the U.S., which subsequently fueled him to find a profession that gave him a sense of purpose. It was education and the support of family and mentors that helped him find his calling. His personal experiences and volunteer work drove him to pursue a career in pharmacy. In his application to UCSF, he stated, "My upbringing, helping me understood the struggle of those who lacked access to things that some people may take for granted. During my undergraduate career, I was able to serve as a Spanish translator at health fairs organized by pharmacy students. Every patient I had a chance to help gave me a clear insight of the struggles many Hispanic immigrants go through to access quality health care. I realized that a solid understanding of science cannot be effective in a patient care setting if there is no focus on the sensitivities, background, and needs of those we help. Ever since, I have made it my goal to become part of the next generation of pharmacists, closing this counseling gap and enhancing the level of care provided to those most at risk. It is no wonder why we have asked Omar to speak to you this evening."
Dear Class of 2023, I am so humbled and thrilled by the opportunity to join you and your loved ones today on this very unique occasion. Today, you're officially joining a large group of healthcare professionals, all dedicated to providing comprehensive, evidence-based care to our communities. By being here today, I'm convinced that you have encountered and overcome several challenges in life, and yet you're ready for the next one. When I was just a teen growing up in Mexico, I constantly saw this unregulated use of medications and the adverse events that followed. Day after day, I would wonder, is there a profession out there where someone is in charge of ensuring the safe and effective use of medications? Regardless, the opportunities for obtaining a higher education in Mexico were scarce and appeared unrealistic. It wasn't until I migrated to the US with my family that I learned about pharmacists while searching for potential career options. Fast forward now 10 years, and I've had the opportunity to work and provide care at a variety of settings as a pharmacy student, including community pharmacies, level 1 trauma centers, transplant units, and pediatric hospitals. At every setting, I've walked away reassured that I have contributed to providing better, more comprehensive care for patients, including those in underserved communities. The beauty of this profession is that your knowledge and compassion will allow you to provide patients the much needed tools to bring positive change to their overall health. You can be an advocate for those without a voice or ensure proper care for those most at risk. Of course, it's always important to remember how you got here, not just by sheer effort, but also with the support of those around you. Think of a time when you thought everything was hopeless and that person still gave it 100% for you. Think of all those family members, teachers, friends, or mentors who have been there during your entire journey. I'm happy to tell you that you can now be that person for your patients as you provide care and help them succeed. Now, this year has certainly reinforced the fact that pharmacists are an invaluable piece to providing care to our communities. Whether you encounter patients in a hospital or in their community, the opportunity to optimize someone's care will always be in front of you. I want to welcome you once again and remind you that by being here today, you have already set on a very rewarding journey where both patients and clinicians will rely on you to learn how to improve their use of medications, regardless of the setting. Congratulations and Godspeed.
Thank you, Omar. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lisa Kroon. Dr. Kroon earned her PharmD degree from the University of Michigan, completed residencies in pharmacy practice and hospital pharmacy administration at UCSF. She joined the faculty in 1996 and became a full professor with the Department of Clinical Pharmacy in 2008. She currently holds the Thomas A. Oliver Endowed Chair in Clinical Pharmacy, and she is the chair of our Department of Clinical Pharmacy. She has played and continues to play an integral role at UCSF in the care of patients with diabetes, other chronic illnesses, and tobacco dependence. She's a leader in supporting the ban on sale of tobacco in San Francisco pharmacies, in which time she worked with the mayor's office and the San Francisco Department of Public Health. She has been instrumental in the formation of the Research and Education Partnership with Walgreens at UCSF. She chairs a statewide task force focused on expanding our scope of practice, working closely with the State Board of Pharmacy, California Schools of Pharmacy, the California Society of Health Systems Pharmacists, and the California Pharmacists Association. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Kroon to lead the class of 2023 in the Oath of a Pharmacist.
Hi, everyone. It's great to see you all. I hope you enjoyed your Oath of the Pharmacist session earlier this month, and now it's time for you to recite it. Please turn to your family, relatives, friends, and future patients who are near you today, and repeat after me. I promise to devote myself.
I promise to devote myself.
To a lifetime of service to others.
To a lifetime of service to others.
Through the profession of pharmacy.
Through the profession of pharmacy.
In fulfilling this vow. I will consider the welfare of humanity.
I will consider the welfare of humanity.
And relief of suffering. My primary concerns. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills.
I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
To assure optimal outcomes for my patients. I will respect and protect.
I will respect and protect
all personal and health information.
All personal and health information.
Entrusted to me. I will accept the lifelong obligation to improve. My professional knowledge and competence. I will hold myself and my colleagues.
To the highest principles.
To the highest principles.
of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct.
Of our profession, moral, ethic, and legal conduct.
I will embrace and advocate.
I will embrace and advocate
Changes that improve patient care.
Changes that improve patient care.
I will utilize
my
knowledge, skills, experiences, and values
my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values
to prepare the next generation of pharmacists.
To prepare the next generation of pharmacists.
I take these vows voluntarily.
I take these vows voluntarily.
With the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted.
of the responsibility with which I am entrusted.
By the public.
By the public.
Congratulations to you all today on getting your white coat.
Welcome, class of 2023, to the UCSF healthcare community. Today marks the beginning of your career as a member of the pharmacy profession. You are the most distinguished students to enter the most distinguished school of pharmacy in the world. With the coronavirus pandemic, a fiscal crisis, and enormous health inequity and disparity, we are at a crossroads for healthcare. For some, such a crossroads represents a barrier, a time of confusion, a time for concern. However, for this class of pioneers, one so distinguished by its academic excellence, critical thinking, ability to attack today's challenges, and exquisite service to society, this crossroads represents simply another welcomed opportunity. You are joining a profession community in which you have a wealth of opportunity to make a difference in your own unique way. On behalf of the entire school, we are deeply honored to partner with you as we together continue to ask, why? Why not? However, always with deep compassion and responsibility for our patients. Thank you for selecting us. We will conclude this evening's ceremony with a greeting card of sorts from the students, faculty, staff, and alumni who will join me in congratulating and welcoming you, the class of 2023, to the profession. Thank you.